Animalia, one of the kingdoms that includes animals like a jaguar emery, asexual. It reproduces by itself like bacteria. What is that, you may ask? Oh, bacteria is microscopic living organisms, usually one-celled, that can be found everywhere, like bacillus. Biome is a specific environment that's home to living things suited for that place and climate, like a forest. Base pair, one of the pairs of chemical bases joined by hydrogen bonds that connect the complementary strands of DNA molecule or of an RNA molecule that has two strands like cytosine and thymine. Condensation, the act of increasing the density of something. It's like the dew on your cup. DNA, a long linear polymer found in the nucleus of a cell and formed by nucleids and shaped like a double helix. It what makes inside you. Diffusion, act of dispersing something, spreading it out from a central point like food coloring. Evaporation, yeah, the process of becoming a vapor like very hot tea. Ecosystem, a system formed by the interaction of communities of organisms with their physical environment, like a tropical rainforest. Fossil, the remains of a plant or an animal that existed in a past geologic age and that has been evacuated from the soil, like the dinosaurs. Fertilization, making fertile as by applying fertilizer or manure, like the sperm and the egg. Genus, taxonomic group containing one or more species, like rhizophore plants. Gamete, a mature sexual reproductive cell having a single set of unpaired chromosomes like a sperm. Hydrogen, a non-metallic univalent element that is normally a colorless and odorless high flammable diatomic gas. First element on the periodic table. Habitat, the natural home or environment of an animal, plant, or other organisms, like a fresh water habitat. Isotope, one of two or more atoms with the same atomic number but with different number of neutrons, like carbon-13, an inherited trait. Is a feature or a characteristic of an organism that has been passed down in the genes, like brown eyes. Junk DNA, genomic DNA that does not encode proteins and whose functions, if it has one, is not well understood, like ribosomal RNA. Kingdom is a taxonomic rank that is composed of smaller groups, like the animal kingdom. Karyotype, the appearance of the chromosomal makeup of a somatic cell in individual or species, like chromosome 21. Life cycle, a series of stages through which an organism passes between reoccurrences of primary stage, like a frog's life cycle from tadpole to frog. Mitochondria, an organism containing enzymes responsible for producing energy, powerhouse of the cell. In humans, red blood cells don't contain a mitochondria. Mammal, any warm-blooded vertebrate having the skin more or less covered with hair. Young are born alive except for a small subclass of monoterms and nourished with milk, like humans. Mutation, a change or alteration in form of qualities like sickle cell anemia. Hit it, Lior.
Nitrogen, a common non-metallic element that is normally a colorless, odorless, tasteless, inert diatomic gas, constitutes 78% of the atmosphere. By volume, constituent of all living tissues, it is the seventh element on the periodic table. Nucleus, a part of the cell containing DNA and RNA and responsible for growth and reproduction. It is the center core of an atom. Oxygen, a non-metallic, bivalent element that is normally a colorless, odorless, tasteless, non-flammable diatomatic gas, constitutes 21% of the atmosphere by volume. The most abundant element in the Earth's crust, and its 8th number on the periodic table. Osmosis, movement of solvent, usually water. Due to osmotic pressure, water can flow into the potato cells by osmosis. Photosynthesis, synthesis of compounds with the aid of radiant energy, especially in plants. This is how plants convert sugar to water. Paleontology, the earth science that studies fossils, organisms, and related remains. Some paleontologists study dinosaurs. Yeah. Protein, quaternary structure is the number and arrangement of multiple folded protein subunits in a multi-subunit complex. An example is a hemoglobin. That is quaternary structure. Quaternary period, current and the most recent of the 3 periods of the Cenozoic era. It's known for climate change. Radium, an intensely radioactive metallic element that occurs in a minute amount of uranium, or number 88 on the periodic table. Radioactive, the earth science that studies fossils, organisms, and related remains. Like uranium is radioactive. Random mating in a population, mating in which all potential reproductive pairings between individuals occur with equal likelihood. Like you don't choose your partner because of look or personality. Saccharides, an essential structural component of living cells and source of energy for animals. Includes simple sugars with small molecules as well as macromolecular substances. Are classified according to the number of monosaccharide groups they contain, like glucose. Saliva, a clear liquid secreted into the mouth by salivary glands and mucus glands of the mouth. Moistens the mouth and starts the digestion of starches like in the human mouth. Salt, white crystalline form of especially sodium chloride used to season and preserve food, like table salts. Taxonomy, a classification of organisms into groups based on similarities of structure or origin, like the Dewey Decimal System. T-cell, a small lymphoid developed in the thymus. It orchestrates the immune system response to infected or malignant cells. Their receptors recognize antigens. Telophase, the final stage of meiosis when the chromosomes move toward opposite ends of the nuclear spindle. In this stage, the effects of prophase and prometaphase are reversed. Unicellular, single-celled, of an organism such as bacterium. If you're unicellular, either prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Virus, ultramicroscopic infectious agent that replicates itself only within cells of living hosts. Many are pathogenic. A piece of nucleic acid, DNA, or RNA wrapped in a thin coat of protein like Ebola. Vacuole, a tiny cavity filled with fluid in the cytoplasm of a cell. White blood cell, blood cells that engulf and digest bacteria and fungi, an important part of the body's defense system, which are found in plant cells. X chromosomes, the sex chromosome that is present in both sexes, singly in males and doubly in females. 2 for women and 1 for men. The sex chromosome that is carried by men. If you have a Y chromosome, you're a male, that's the Y chromosome. Zoology, the branch of biology that studies animals, like vertebrate. Zoology. Zygote, the diploid cell resulting from the union of a haploid spermatozoa and ovum, including the organism that develops from that cell. A fertilized female egg from which a baby will develop is an example of a zygote.